You win a bottle of champagne? You know why? Because you just did an interview without mentioning the name Will Smith.
Wow. That aged about as well as Bill Cosby's career. Jada Pinkett has a new book out, and if you haven't read it, it's all in the book. Don't take my word for it. Listen to her.
In 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives. Yes. It was...
We get it, Jada. We're gonna buy the book. We feel worthy. Today, I'm going to do a deep dive onto the amazingly tragic marriage of Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, or non-marriage, or they're in, they're out. I don't know if you've seen this, but Jada Pinkett has been going on a world tour since releasing her book, dedicated to bashing our good boy, Will Smith, and I'll tell you, I don't know who to feel sorry for. I feel like I feel sorry for myself for getting this information because I don't really even want to know, but at this point, it's like pushed into my face. Since nobody actually knows whether they're married or not at this point, I thought it would be fun to do a deep dive to actually figure out what the hell is up with the Smiths. First things first, before we get too far into the video, I'd like to mention today's sponsor, Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club that offers you a box of awesome top shelf goods from under-the-radar brands. It's free to join and allows you to cancel or skip orders anytime. 90% of the products come from small brands, many of which are based in the US. And the box lineup constantly changes from month to month. Every box of awesome has around $70 worth of value in it and costs a fraction of that. Good maths. Each month, members get to try out all kinds of new products, like barware, outdoor gear, kitchen goods, clothing, or even live oysters. You just fill out a preference quiz on the Bespoke Post website to help cater items to you. I love how I can preview my box before it's shipped, so I can decide whether I want to keep it, swap it for a different box, or skip the month entirely with no penalties. The Weekender box is a great box to start off with. You get a really spacious canvas carry-all bag in your choice of color, which is perfect to hold everything you'd need for a weekend trip, even a laptop. I personally love the navy shade. I'm also drawn to the food and kitchen related boxes, like the concentrate box, which right now includes a cold brew iced coffee maker, some sleek looking desktop organizers made out of concrete, and Boulevard bitters, which it says would taste great in cold brew and other various cocktails. But there are so many more boxes to choose from, it's truly a customizable experience. To get 20% off your first box of awesome, click the link in the description and enter 16leo20 or go to bespokepost.com/16leo20. So without further ado, let's start. So since the internet is confused and has had to learn everything about this relationship against their will, let's try and backtrack to the beginning to try and understand what is maybe the most confusing couple in all of Hollywood right now. In September of 1990, Will Smith, who was at the time a budding rapper, was cast into a sitcom by legendary music producer Quincy Jones. The story itself of how Will Smith became the Fresh Prince is legendary in that he actually never acted before. But being a successful young rapper, he made money, but he failed to pay his taxes. So he had fallen into debt, and at the request of his then girlfriend, he took a look at the script, and that's how The Fresh Prince came to be. I loved The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I still love it. I think it's amazing. I think that show is good. And I just want to go on record and say Will Smith, as the Fresh Prince, has made many fun of many women on the show. Now, I know that's the Fresh Prince character, but he was doing comedy. So if Chris Rock was doing comedy, I don't know why I'm doing bunny ears so much, I can't stop it, then maybe Will Smith shouldn't have, treated it like it was WWE pay-per-view. I'm just saying. There was this amazing episode of The Fresh Prince where he was in an earthquake and his girlfriend proceeded to take off all of her fake things and he's like, what off you is real? And, I feel like Chris Rock was just making a joke, but Will Smith took it a little bit too far. Still love The Fresh Prince, but I'm just saying that's a little bit fresh coming from him. Now, on the show, Will had many girlfriends, and in 1994, a 19-year-old Jada Pinkett auditioned to play one of Smith's girlfriend, but was told she was too short. I feel like that's complete bullshit. I'm just saying. Will Smith is like 6'1" or something. Come on. All of the girls on the show can't be like that tall. It's not like every girl on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was like 5'6". Actually, you know what? Okay, well, Jada Pinkett says she's 5'2", 5'3". Tisha Campbell, who is Will Smith's girlfriend in that earthquake episode, was 5'4". She still is 5'4". I don't know why I said was, like she shrunk. She didn't shrink. She's still 5'4". She might need to see shrink if Jada came into the picture. But the point is, I feel like they were lying. They were just not willing to say, Jada, your acting sucks. We don't want you in the show. The Fresh Prince does not need this. But they did not cast her. and the two never really met. Which, honestly, if that was the timeline Will Smith was living in, I feel like at this point he'd be like, damn, I wish I could go back. Regardless, they met a while later. Carlton, everyone's favorite dancer for this move, was the one who put Will and Jada in contact after it had been established that he went on a date with Jada, or so she said. So on an episode of Red Table Talk, Jada and Will were sitting down and they discussed Carlton, who's played by Alfonso Ribeiro, I think that's how you say his name. Apparently, Jada Pinkett went on a date with him before The Fresh Prince, which is kind of like, I don't know, how do you feel about that? Imagine if like you were dating some guy or some girl and then you were like, my homie definitely hit it before me. Like, you know, now there's some of your homie and you. That's kind of like, Anyway, that's what she said, and Will Smith was like, yeah. And it turns out she may have been lying because Carlton himself hit back. She was on Twitter saying, da. He went on Twitter and he was like, actually, Jada, it wasn't a date. She said, I think I dated Alfonso, Jada said. Will added, and he took you on a motorbike or something. She said, I think so. My memory is I've dated a lot of people, but we went on to date. So again, just already you can see Jada Pinkett just being like, beautiful. Yeah, I date a lot of people, Will. Yeah, you're one of them. I don't know if you have the willpower to power through this situation. Maybe I'll let you hit it again. But Carlton then said, sorry, Jada, your memory's a little off. We went to lunch with your family when we both guest starred on A Different World the year before you became a regular. When even Carlton is being like, no, thank you. Will, this is your one. Wow. She got Carltoned. That's unbelievable. She replied saying, sorry, my bad, I thought it was a date, which is like, ugh. Just being shot down by your friend's homie, but thinking it's a date is like, why are you doing this to Will? Why? So she's just trying to lie about going on a date with like Will's best friend and slash cousin. That's Jada for you. Here's the thing though, Will Smith was married to his first wife at the time, Cherie Zampino. However, in 1995, she filed for divorce. Jada reached out to console him, and that same year they began dating. In December of 1997, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett get married. And while weddings are normally seen as an amazing event of the joining of two people pledging a life together, on an episode of their infamous show Red Table Talk, Jada said not only that she didn't want to marry Will, but she cried at their wedding. That's gangster.
And I was so upset that I had to have a wedding. I was so pissed.
As every girl is at their wedding day. Oh, well, fuck off. I really just want to not do this. I'm going to take a shit on my white dress. It's going to have poop stains. You just leave me alone, Will. You made Independence Day. I want to be that. Thank you.
I went crying down the freaking aisle.
Getting married.
Cried the whole...
Will Smith then begins to do like fucking penguin claps on his... She did. She was crying. God, how do you do this? How do you say this in front of your man? I get that Red Table Talk is supposed to be completely unfiltered, but just like cigarettes, that shit is way worse. God damn, why are you doing this to Will? She cried down the aisle. Like, don't do it then. Oh, God. Imagine marrying someone and everyone's like, it was the happiest day of my life. How about you, Will? And then he has to do... She was crying. This is the only way I can process that. Oh my God. You turn him into a penguin. So Gambi's, I think, Jada's grandma. But like, I mean, look, my grandma can cry. She can take a RPG, launch it from the sky. She can drive a helicopter, skydive. I do not care. If I do not want to get married, I'm not making a life decision based on someone being like, no, I'm not doing that. No. There is no way I'm gonna have my wife crying down the aisle, tears of hate, not even tears of joy. You'd think that, oh, she's crying because it's an overwhelming moment. It is overwhelming because she doesn't want to be with him. Have you ever been to a wedding where the person's like, if anyone sees any objection, and the fucking bride puts her hand up? I see an objection. Me. I hate this. I hate this shit. I cannot believe that's how their wedding started. How do you have a successful marriage if it starts in ruins? God.
So much pressure, you know, being a young actress, being young, and I was just like pregnant. And I was just like, I didn't know what to do. But I just knew, I was like, I never wanted to be married.
Well, then if you know that, why did you... I didn't know what to do, but I knew I didn't want to get married. So I cried the whole way there. Now I'm married to Wolf. Where's Tupac? Man, R.I.P. Throughout this video, you'll hear tons of references to Tupac Shakur. That's why I'm wearing the Biggie shirt. Big ups. I know, the irony is not lost on me. And even though I love Tupac, I think Jada Pinkett really loves Tupac because she seems to bring him up instead of Will Smith, her husband, who's alive and well. Well, not well, but alive and living. Oh, Jada and Will married at the Gothic-style Cloisters Castle in Baltimore. They got married where she was born, not even where he's from, Philly. I guess they got married at the Goth Center. It fits the mood, I guess. Bats and shit were flying out. Batman was crying. He's like, ugh, if I had parents like these, I wish they did. Not the music I envisioned for We Had a Shit Wedding, but thank you, News AU. You guys had a bad wedding. I'm loving it, I think.
Horrible.
It was a horrible wedding.
It was a mess. Jada was sick. She was very unpleasant. Wouldn't cope. But she was sick. She didn't cope.
Jada still is sick then because she's been unpleasant for a long time, so you might need to get her checked out is all I'm saying. I mean, oh, look at the picture. Will Smith looks like he's playing a role in The Fresh Prince. He's like, come on. Jada, right? And she looks like she's like, damn, I hate this. God, have you ever seen a wife look like she's done with her husband on day 0 of marriage? I feel sorry for my boy. Will Smith, one of the coolest people, TV show, movie star, rapper, YouTuber, slapper, all of those things. Oh, this woman ruined him.
Operate with
You were 6 months pregnant at the wedding.
No, I was
How many?
3 months.
3 months pregnant.
Will Smith then gets it wrong and says she's 6 months pregnant at the wedding. She says 3. I don't know if that was like it was 6 months because of the or 6 months because of the crazy devil lady. But apparently, I mean, to end things, just the icing on the cake, it says conversely, Smith was positively giddy about the ceremony and always had dreams of marriage and a family. We have the rare meeting of 2 people where the girl is like, I do not want to get married, and the guy's like, I cannot wait to get married. Golden retriever guy, devil. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to be objective, but objectively speaking, nobody wants to hear this, Jada.
It wasn't a day in my life that I wanted anything other than being married and having a family.
Wow.
From like,
Well, thank the good Lord.
literally 5 years old, I was picturing what my family would be.
And it wasn't this, was it? Huh? In West Philadelphia, born and raised, Jada came and ruined my life in a couple of days. All right. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. Come on. 5 years old. Guys playing with G.I. Joe and all that shit. He's playing with Bobby or Ken or something. The house. Black Bobby. I don't know. He's just like dreaming of a wedding, and this is probably not how I envisioned it. Everyone only wants to have one wedding. Nobody ever envisions multiple weddings. That much I can say. And you try and meet your ideal, amazing soulmate, and I can guarantee from the bottom of my heart, nobody imagines their spouse to be crying and hating it and getting their, ass dragged down the aisle to get married. So this is the story that he has to tell for the rest of his life now. The top comment says it all. This is so humiliating for Will, such an evil woman. Whew. Let's move on. Jada and Will throughout the early 2000s had a strong marriage until rumors about Jada cheating started to circulate in the headlines when Jennifer Lopez's ex-husband Mark Anthony had been linked to Jada. Anthony was Jada's co-star in a TV drama called Hawthorne, in which they played on-screen lovers. As an on-screen source later stated, there was off-screen chemistry that everyone saw on set. Will and Jada later responded through Facebook saying, although we are reluctant to respond to these types of press reports, the rumors circulating about our relationship are completely false. We're still together and our marriage is intact. So since 2011, that's 10 years ago from now, people had been saying these things, and the cheating rumors never really came on Will Smith's side. Now, I did some research for a while. I also saw the Margot Robbie things. That was the last time. It was a movie called Focus, I believe, and people had, been saying, I think they were flirting on set. And maybe, I don't know. Maybe there was. I'm not there, so I can't fully state anything is or isn't. But the big rumors that sparked actual comments was mostly from Jada, mostly Mark Anthony and a few other people she had been linked to. So we then move on to 2016, which is In 2016, Jada Pinkett Smith partakes in what she would later call an entanglement with rapper August Alsina. The weird part is, it's her son Jaden's friend. I have seen a few storylines in which this happens. I've not watched this with anyone else, because if I did, I would need therapy. Let's just say incognito tab. In reality, this shit is fucked up. Alright, she was still married to Will at the time. Or so we think. More on that later. 2 years later in 2018, Jada Pinkett Smith starts a Facebook show called Red Table Talk, which leaves me wondering the same question. Who the actual fuck watches Facebook shows? By 2020, she enlists Will Smith as a guest and has the infamous entanglement conversation in which Will Smith looks like he wishes he suffered Tupac's fate. Poor Will. I mean, we've seen it, but we're gonna have to power through it, man. I don't think I've ever seen this video enough times and not felt Will's pain. Like, I haven't got desensitized to the look of a man breaking down just hearing his wife openly be like, August, in that really happy tone that you say when you have like an extra grape at the bottom of the grape punnet.
Okay.
Some fries at the bottom of McDonald's. Oh shit, fries. She said that like, August.
It's a situation that I considered private.
Which is why you're on Red Table Talk talking in public on Facebook, which is known for compromising people's data.
We've been compromised.
So if you wanted to be private, you'd go on any site other than Facebook. Honestly, go on the dark web. Your information could be safer than on Facebook. Sorry, but it could be.
I feel like it ain't really nobody's business. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
Now, I've watched enough of Jada Pinkett Smith to know when she starts doing the Windex window cleaning laugh,
as their business,
that she's not actually laughing out of pure enjoyment, but out of some sort of embarrassing resolve. And you'll see that later, because she does it a few times. Whenever she laughs audibly and genuinely, it's quite a hearty but in a girl way. Sorry. But this is the window, like, laugh, which is like, oh, I know I fucked up, but I'm sorry. That's that.
We're going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided...
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wish. That's the most I've seen Will become, like, present in the sense that self-preservation mattered to him, where he's like, I'm done with this. I cannot deal with you. It's not about us anymore so much as it is about protecting myself from these feelings. I feel like if someone hurts you and you love them, you let them hurt you, because that's kind of part of love. It's almost unreasonable to think that someone who you love will not hurt you in some way, whether big or small. But to do it consistently is disrespectful and demeaning. And at some point, self-preservation comes into the situation where you're like, all right, okay. You keep talking about Tupac. You keep playing his songs whenever I put mine on. I don't understand. Every time I play Biggie, throw him out the window, put Pac on and say, West Side. I don't get it. So I feel like Will Smith stood up for himself. He said, I was done with your ass. And I was like, woo! Everyone was like, yeah, Will. And now we're sitting there like, like Chris Rock after he got the slap. Like, what happened? I thought you was done. Gotta come back.
As time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
Yeah, I got into a situ-a-roni with August, and I'm not talking about the month. I got into a cab with him. I split a meal with him. I split a B&B with the chap. August Alsina is this R&B singer who's half her age. And the reason he's half her age is because he's Jaden Smith, who's Will and Jada's son. This is his friend. You don't go to your son's friend like, damn, shorty, you fine as fuck. Can you imagine if she was a guy, if she was Jada Pinkett Smith and her daughter Willow had a fine girlfriend who was 20 and she's like 45 and she's like, ooh, Shauna, you fine as fuck. Every person on this planet would be like, Jada, that is inappropriate as hell. But when she does it, it's A-okay. My son's friend is easy game. Will Smith can never invite anyone to the house. He didn't even invite anyone. It was his son's friend. Will Smith can't have son's friends. That's not even a grammatically good sentence. Thanks, Jada.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship.
Why didn't you say that shit then? Wow, what the hell? I still cannot understand how she tried to play it off as if Will Smith was gonna be like, oh yes, entanglement, yes. Like the film. Yes. And my heart was frozen. Yeah, all right. She had a relationship. I was done with you. I wanted something younger, something like that. I don't know what Jada was thinking. She apparently Will Smith, the guy who made Men in Black, was not good enough for her. She wanted August, and that's what happened.
The only person that can give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think Jaden Smith even has friends anymore? Or he's like, hey, yo, man, I really like you. And then his friend's like, yo, man, can we hang out at your house? He's like, no. Come on, man, let's hang out in the woods. It's safer at night. I like it. There's a chance my mom won't come here. Jaden Smith looking at his friends like, you're good looking. I can't be friends with you. I need ugly friends or my mom will take you. Damn it. My dad will hate me if you're good looking. Leave. No wonder Jaden is the way he is. This is kind of Jada Pinkett, just fucking everything up for everyone. Also, may I remind you, this is all done at Will Smith's house. Yes, I said Will Smith's house because he has his own house. Jada has her house. More on that later. But Red Table Talk is filmed at his house. Imagine going to your own house and being told by your own wife that she had your son's friends as a relationship. That's gangsta. That's gangsta. She is Tupac in another life.
I just wanted to feel good.
Yeah, this is the part where she said she just wanted to feel good in front of her husband and then says she hasn't felt good in so long, which could mean anything. It could mean everything. For all we know. But all I can tell is that Will Smith won the Oscar for King Richard, but what he should have really won the Oscar for was perseverance through sitting through this shit. They should have a new category, Oscar for most annoying wife that I gotta sit through while she talks to me about how she fucked my son's friend in this show that she has on Facebook, which nobody watches, so I can die inside. That's a specific category, I'm not gonna lie, but I think he would win.
It had been so long since I felt good.
Why did you emphasize the shit like so long, so thick and long, so juicy, since I felt good? Thinking about it right now makes me feel juicy. Woo! Well, you better leave the table. Woo!
And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Yes, the classic trappings of a narcissist is to think that she is somehow healing other people by leaving her husband to fuck her son's friend. Only in her mind can she think healed. Oh yes, heal the world, make it a better place. I'm fucking you and the entire human race. Thank you, Michael Jackson really meant that shit. Thank you guys. They end with saying the classic phrase that is now, probably ringing true in everyone's ears. Bad marriage for life. Which, by the way, is so confusing once you know the next piece of information. It blows my mind. And we'll talk about it, but this is how they end the show.
We ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
Yep. Top comment. Let's see how I can embarrass my husband in front of the wall so I can feel better about myself. She's a piece of work, isn't she? At this time on Jada's Instagram, a now deleted video was posted seemingly capturing a frustrated Will Smith. So while she's doing this Red Table Talk, this is after things have come out, there's a video of Will Smith just not wanting to be filmed. It just sort of shows Jada's character, so I kept it in. I'm trying to be objective here, by the way. I'm trying to say, okay, let me try and look at it from Jada's point of view. But if you're unhappy with your marriage, if you're bored or something, talk it out. If that's not working, don't go on social media and blast your husband for no reason. Like, I don't think Will Smith has done anything to deserve this. I'm not sure what I can think of that the man's done to be like, oh yeah, he deserved that one. I don't know who deserved what, but there's other people getting hurt now. And I don't mean emotionally, I mean physically. Chris Rock getting treated like he's in WWE. He does not belong there. August Alsina getting treated like a do-rag that just fell off someone's head. He's just blowing in the wind. It's not right. Jaden Smith getting treated like Jaden Smith. That's weird. So this is behind the scenes on an episode of Red Table Talk. Now, I went on Will Smith's YouTube channel, and there's videos of him and Jada, specifically one video where he goes to the Red Table Talk where she invites him on. And he's just from the start feeling a little sort of annoyed that they're filming at his house after work. He has to come and do this. He brings his friend for moral support. And at one point, he says, "You won't break me, Jada." And she's like, "I've broken you enough." And they laugh. Like, I don't know. Like, when I saw that, I was like, Ow. Ow. But this is one of those things that's behind the scenes. And Will did not want to be filmed, but this is Jada doing it.
Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me.
I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Don't. No, because she don't just...
So this is from Jada Pinkett's Instagram. So not only did she feel this was okay, she felt it was okay to film this. See her husband, who's not feeling it, who says no, who is telling her no, and then put it up to her social media with millions of followers to look at. This comment sums it up better than I could. I'm still dealing with foolishness. Her discrediting his feelings while overstepping his boundaries when he simply asked her not to be filmed just because it doesn't suit her selfish narrative for her overrated and morally bankrupt table talk. She'll show you her dark side. Maybe not that last part, but the first part about setting boundaries and someone overstepping, invalidating people's feelings, especially your partners. You may not feel that you're doing it, but if someone's saying, I feel like this, these are my boundaries, I feel like you're crossing them right now, is a moment that you should be like, okay, I can understand. She said, I'm dealing with this foolishness. She just invalidated everything he was feeling. But when she's on Red Table, it's like, bah, bah, bah. I feel like shit, Will. Bah. Whoa, Fresh Prince was better when I was in it. Psych, I wasn't even in it. What I'm trying to say is the show was shit without me. I auditioned. It would have been really good if I played every character. I'm a better actor than you. So now the next thing we have is, of course, the infamous Oscar event. During the 94th Academy Awards ceremony, what would later become the slap around the world took place. While hosting the Oscars, Chris Rock made a G.I. Jane joke referring to Jada's bald head. At first, Will Smith laughed because that shit was hilarious. However, soon after seeing her eye roll, he walked up on stage and slapped Chris before returning to his seat. He could be then heard screaming, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth." And after the information we're about to hear, this moment might be more confusing than ever. I mean, I don't have to take you through this scene. G.I. Jane. Will Smith's like, yo, that shit is hilarious, dog. Christopher Rock, you are my favorite Rock, except Dwayne. Jada's like, oh, God, why? I have alopecia, which I don't know, the verdict's out on that. Then Will Smith sees his wife's reaction and says, I'm Will Smith, and then screams, keep your wife's name out, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's shocked. We take a break. Will Smith wins the Oscar. He's banned. That's what happens. Will Smith ended up winning his first ever Oscar for acting, then immediately got banned for 10 years from ever attending the ceremony again, which is like Ronald McDonald giving you a Big Mac, then saying you can't chew it. We've had time to look at the incident, simmer down, see what the aftermath is. Will Smith felt apologetic for his actions. Chris Rock managed to go on tour. I actually saw him live. It was good. He didn't say much about it, but people say this might have been conspiracy theory that it happened to get the Oscars ratings up, and I mean that sort of lines up. Oscars had been dwindling in terms of ratings. A lot of things could have happened. What really and physically happened is that everyone saw a man, how do I say this on YouTube? Another man to stand up for the honor of his wife who hates him, and that sort of sucks. Now on Jada's part, she didn't actually do anything. She didn't tell Will, come on. But you have seen how manipulative she can be with her words, so sometimes it's just that behavior, the eye roll itself, just a little physical thing that could set someone off, and that was just the night. So there's a lot of people to blame here. I blame television for thinking that it's okay. Will Smith must have watched some sort of Rey Mysterio flashback. He must have watched The Undertaker at WWE WrestleMania 12. Honestly, I feel like we got off light because he would have done like a tombstone pile driver on Chris Rock, and that would have been that. He's 6'1". Chris Rock is not that. Can you imagine winning an Oscar though? Like, it's such a prestigious thing. Everyone wants to do it, especially if you're a person of color. It doesn't come around often. And then you finally win, but people remember you for slapping someone in the face. I mean, honestly, can you guys tell me what he won for? Because last time someone asked me, I said the slap. I don't know. It was some tennis movie where he did a backhand, but we remember the forehand more. In December of 2022, Jada Pinkett's show Red Table Talk was cancelled. She said Facebook wanted to focus less on original shows. What? Netflix canceling Jada Pinkett Smith's show. We want to focus on more white television. NBC canceling Jada Pinkett's show. We want to rerun Seinfeld again. We don't like news shows. Instagram, canceling Jada Pinkett Smith. We want to focus on people who can grow hair. I can make that. I don't care. She does not have alopecia. I've seen her hair, okay? I'm saying. I got an alopecia commercial. Let me put it up right now. This is alopecia. This is alopecia right here. This bald, blotchy stuff, that's that. She just got it shaved. If you shave down there, it's not alopussy. I'm sorry.
Now, Facebook has announced they are canceling the series, saying it wasn't getting many viewers and they were moving away from original content.
Yeah, so, the show got canceled. Facebook said, we're gonna go our own direction, which is focusing on less original content and stealing other people's stuff. That's how we really made it, so we're gonna continue that. And so they canceled it and Red Table Talk became no more. That show, really, honestly, I cannot tell you another episode besides the entanglement one, so I don't know who is watching it, but maybe there was people. I don't know who liked it though. Now we go to the recent bombshell. Jada Pinkett Smith in 2023 has a book out called Worthy, and she's promoting it. And she drops a nugget of information that is going to blow your mind if you haven't already seen. This brings us to the promotion of Jada Pinkett Smith's book called Worthy. During the promotion of the book, a bombshell was dropped when seemingly out of nowhere, she announced to the world that her and her husband, Will Smith, had been separated since 2016. What?
Exclusive interview with Jada Pinkett Smith, and everyone's going to be talking about this.
Yeah, she is one half.
Is this what Good Morning America is? 3 dudes in suits just sitting around waiting to fight when the ladies leave, and 2 ladies who look like they've been around since the 1300s. Is this Good Morning America? Is this a good morning or just a morning?
Hollywood's most powerful couple. She's at the center of constant gossip and controversy, including that slap at the Oscars. She was sitting right next to Will Smith. And when we met up with Jada in her...
I like how she said that, like they weren't together. She was sitting right next to Will, as opposed to who, fuck? What are you talking about, Hoda? Who else? She was sitting next to Chris Rock. And then Will was like, phew, and she's like, woo, thank God you missed me. If I had hair, you would have caught it. What the fuck, Hoda? Okay.
Hometown of Baltimore to talk about her candid new memoir, Worthy. She opened up about an issue that has been kept secret until now.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but...
Look, you just look at the hair. I'm sorry. Alopecia is supposed to be a condition where you have spots and things, and it's different for everyone. But if it's so mild and rare that you cannot notice it, is it even a thing? I mean, I've seen all of these interviews. When we started, she was fine. It's gonna come, like, this is gonna come back later, but my goodness. Anyway, continue.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to...
When you start clapping at a bitch, then you know that... And it's not even like an angry clap. This is like a are you lying clap. These are mini crocodile claps. When you start asking people, like, the thing that I knew about you but didn't know is that you and Will was separated when it was 2016? Just stop mini clapping. You know that something's wrong.
Live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was...
You can hear the clapping.
On paper.
Right.
But it was a divorce. Y'all have been apart.
Yeah, that really makes me wonder why we sat through 2020's entanglement situation and had to listen to Bad Marriage for Life when you guys were separated. Because 2020 happens to be after 2016, Jada. In 2022, when the Oscars were happening, keep your wife's name out your mouth. Was Jada as confused as everyone else? Like, who's he? Is me? I'm just a friend right now. Is Tupac here? Whose wife? What? No. All this shit that we had to watch for nothing? No. You better marry that man.
Was taped a year after Will and Jada separated.
How do you keep it hot?
Because it's summer in August. Carry on, sir.
They even faced a scandal when Jada had what she called an entanglement with a family friend. Neither let the public know.
He was a family friend. He was a friend of the family. Now he became family. Is that how you introduce family? This is a family friend. Soon he will be family. And that's how that works. This is my husband. This is my going to be husband. This is my son. This is his friend, who's going to be mine soon. And I get all of my sexual prowess from R. Kelly album. That's my hero, an idol. Jada Smith, probably.
I feel like you're a straight talker.
I am.
Except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
Damn, that's some gotcha journalism. I feel like you're a straight talker, and you can see the veins on her fucking forehead. Like, I am. You're damn right I am, Hoda. Then she just like, but sometimes you lie. Yes, that's true. Okay, yeah, you're right about that one too. Don't know why you did that to me. She just got her. She did the gotcha. She's gonna do this again. Hoda's weirdly good at this.
Why did the relationship fracture?
By the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying.
Yeah, so, I mean, they've been separated. I can't believe it. We've been watching a lie and they didn't know how to tell us, so they didn't tell us. That's not, goes against everything that she possibly had. I thought she started Red Table Talk to have unfiltered conversations that were hard, but she somehow didn't want to tell the world that, which is fine. It is good to, you want this to be your personal business, absolutely. But then you come on the show and start talking about entanglements, you're only giving us half the information? Who does that? What kind of lying narcissistic trait is that to like only give some of the information? Oh, we're fine. I did sleep with someone else, but we're safely married. If you told us you'd been broken up, I'm sure more people would have been like, oh, yeah. All right. Now it's more confusing than ever.
A legal divorce, but could never go through with it.
So she got an illegal one now. Yeah, that's when you get that illegal divorce, when you kick him from behind in the nutsack, then take his money and run. I know that one.
I made a promise that there will never be a reason for us to get a divorce. We will work through whatever.
Sleeping with another man who's the best friend of your son should be pretty good grounds. I think so. I mean, that's a good reason, Jada. If that's not a good enough reason, what is the good reason? Like, I planted a bomb under your car and you somehow managed to avoid it, but if you didn't, you'd be goners. But since you survived, we should get this divorce now. That's a good reason.
We live separately.
I have so many questions.
I have so many questions too, Guy and Ty. What? She just dropped that at the end like yeah, by the way, we don't live together. I only film Red Table Talk there. They canceled the show, so I don't live with that guy anymore. Yeah, he used to be Men in Black. Now he's just Man in Darkness because his life is fucked.
I mean, they have not called each other husband and wife in all of those years.
No, he's called her wife many times. I don't know if he knows this, just by the way. So we're trying to figure that one out. I think people have said this in the comments, but honestly, watching her is like, you can see the narcissistic tendencies just coming out. It's all about her. This is all about that. It's how it affects her. Will Smith is like a byproduct of their relationship. He's just existing in her world. And I don't know how you can be man and wife and live like that in either way. I don't know how the man can do that. I don't know how the wife can do that. Top comment. Jada is the perfect example of how the wrong person can ruin your life. Second top comment. It's always very scary to watch a narcissist in action pretend their actions are justified. Remember? Last time when she was with August, she said it's nice to heal someone, thinking that what she was doing was healing. She thought she was Robin Williams. She was like, I'm the genie. I'm saving so many people's lives. I'm making them happier every day. She was making one guy happier and making one guy infinitely sadder at the same time. I don't know if that's a good trade-off, Jada. So after the news came out, Will Smith reacted on Instagram by doing this. It's just a notification Will Smith posted on his Instagram where he turned notifications off. And he's going on a speedboat to somewhere. That's the most confusing thing. People did comment, including Jada Pinkett Smith, who posted this, which is 3 laughing emojis. Can you imagine your wife making a book and then saying you're separated, and then you literally leave the planet going on a speedboat? How bad does your life have to be that you call someone and you're like, do you have a speedboat? Ma, get the speedboat. Where are we going? To the Bermuda Triangle. We need to find Tupac. I need to bring him back to life because I cannot do this shit again. What is he even doing? Where is Will Smith going? Why is he in the ocean? Why you make your husband leave this planet, bro? I've never seen someone go on a speedboat to clear their mind. I'm actually really glad that he didn't take a helicopter and then go to the Jurassic World. Honestly, he's like, man, I'm going back to the Stone Ages. Oh, Jada. Why you do this? So then we go back to the next day of the interview, because at this point Jada's doing every day a different piece of like the puzzle. She's giving more and more out to the world whilst promoting her book. This one is about the Oscar slap and how she thought it was all fake.
Yeah, and I did that eye roll not so much for me, and I think this is really important, but the fact that there could be a jab at alopecia.
Yes, you didn't do that for you. This was whenever Chris Rock makes a joke, he's like, white people, and then my friend John is like, I didn't do that for me, Leo. This is for whites. We're oppressed and we're depressed. And when Chris Rock makes jokes about us, we're gonna slap him. No, Mark, what is your name? No. That's how comedians walk. As soon as they offend one group of people, you're like, I didn't do this for me. I did this for us. You're making jokes against us. You should go back to making jokes about the Mexicanos or the Chinas, okay? Because alopecia people are really, nobody should be making fun of this, okay? I watched Hairspray and I cried. Can you imagine if she did that? She's going like to barbershops being like, like angry.
Then went on a profane tirade warning Chris not to mention his wife's name.
Yes, that's how that's exactly. Do not mention my wife's name. Heathen, please cease to mention that, or you will suffer a fate worse than death, Chris.
Wait a minute, let me do that one again.
Thank you, Hoda, for making it sound like it was that. Thanks.
I'm really shocked because, mind you, I'm not there. We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time. I'm like,
Right. So you guys just went to the Oscars as people. Homies! I'm gonna take my homie, Jada Pinkett, who I had kids with, to the Oscars. She's my friend.
and Chris looks to me and he says, Jada, I meant you. I meant no harm.
So this is what happened. She rolls her eyes. Will Smith does his finisher on Chris Rock. At the break time, he's like, Jada, I am so sorry. And Jada Pinkett Smith's world, in the film Madagascar, the hippo is the main character. Everyone else is just a byproduct of her imagination. Chris Rock's not the zebra. He's just her servant.
You became the bad guy. Look what Jada made him do. Jada rolled her eyes, and look what he did. He ran up there and hit Chris.
Yeah.
Poor Will. That's what the narrative became.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the narrative, people are like, yo, Jada Pinkett Smith's not exactly the nicest person. And from what people can, assume from the information they've been given, Will Smith was having the time of his life. I'm surprised your head wasn't there. And he was like, smack the back of it if he really, really wanted to. But like, he looked at you and it was like a complete different situation. It was as if he was looking at Tupac. And Tupac was like, if you laugh at me, you're not part of this gang anymore. And then he had to do some initiation shit. Like, it felt like that. That's only half a joke, because I don't know how Will Smith was feeling, but like, to make a man who played, he done some crazy things in his life. He was in Shark Tale, and he wasn't the shark. He played a fish with a black hairline. That's a real thing. That's not even a joke. They gave him a hairline. So he's made some mistakes, but not like this. This is crazy.
Look at what she's done. She has the power with an eye roll to make him go up and slap somebody on stage. Okay, so at no point did she ever defend Will Smith. I feel like at this point, it's probably common knowledge that she's not going to defend Will Smith, but to throw him under the bus even more at a time like this, it's been a year. It's kind of like, damn, are we ever going to get a scene in which Jada Pinkett Smith is like, Will Smith is a great guy, and I married him because I love him? Or do we have to have one of those AI things to say that, and people are like, oh, okay, we know that's AI because Jada wouldn't do that. Wow. That's all I can say. Just days later, after a substantial amount of backlash on social media ranging from memes and jokes to comments about oversharing their relationship, it seemed Jada Pinkett had backtracked as she went on the news show Today to clarify the status of her marriage and said they are doing well. So on the 16th of October, just a few days after she releases all that stuff about Will Smith not even being together or living in separate places, she basically she's backtracking on everything. And I'm assuming this is because of the backlash.
As we sit here today in a reflection of, was it the right thing to reveal?
She looks like a sphinx. I was looking. She looked like one of them cats. I was trying to think about what? Yes, she looks like that one from Dragon Ball Z, Beirut. Can I say that? I'm saying it.
I had to talk about my journey.
Will Smith said, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And Will Smith's wife said, keep talking about me. Put your name in my mouth, because she's saying things like, I have to share my journey. Otherwise, how will you know? Nobody cares. This is not even our quest. Bitch, please.
We really needed time to get solidified because at the end of the day, Will and I love each other. Mm-hmm. We had to really figure out what we wanted.
Oh, you guys love it. God damn it. It all worked out. One guy got slapped. One guy got slept with because of Jada, and we're happy now. Okay.
We were just kind of in this very fragile place, and so now we're just super solid.
Super solid? Yeah, 2 days ago, you were not living together with him. What the hell happened in the last 48 hours? He was on a boat, presumably, to the end of the world. What? What happened? Oh my God. Yeah, okay, so then Will Smith read her book. He probably had to buy it in the store because she didn't even give him a copy. And he read it. And, you know, to everyone's non-surprise, you think that he's going to be like, Jada, get your stuff and leave. He's being the, you know, beautifully amazing, loving person he is, says this.
When you've been with someone for more than half your life, he wrote, a sort of an emotional blindness sets in, and all you can do, and you can all too easily lose your sensitivity to their hidden nuances and subtle beauties.
Have you ever heard anything about Jada saying that to Will Smith?
No.
You know, Will Smith is the biggest movie star ever and, you know, all that stuff, but it's really the nuances. It's the stuff he does for me in the morning. Like, he brushes my hair. Pussy. I should have said hair.
I think, yeah, that's so universal in relationships. He didn't see me and I didn't see him, right?
Yeah.
Does he have to always say the stuff first before you could say things nice about him? Does he have to make the first move eternally for you to then be like, I also feel the same about you. Oh, you love me. Ditto.
You know, because when you're for you, them. And
Hold up. What do you mind? Trying to listen to the interview. It's hard to hear. Hold up. Chill, man. Go back to the little claps.
Your kids would have been better off. Will would have been better off. Everyone would have been better off without you.
So now she talks about, for YouTube purposes, herself. Hoda, for some reason, says, I found this touching. Not a good thing to start. This is a bad way to start, Hoda. And basically, Jada feels that she felt everyone else would be better off without her. I'm not gonna joke about this, that's not true. But the way that she goes about it, having kids and then still feeling like she's going to do this and going so fast to plan it. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion and you can disagree with me. I would be a-okay with that. But I feel like if you have a kid, your life is no longer just yours anymore and you gotta start thinking about them. And there is no person, I don't care how bad my personal life is, if I have a kid, there's no way I am giving up on them by giving up on myself. There's no way I'm not gonna provide for my children. Jaden may be millionaire, Willow may be millionaire, all that stuff. Money doesn't matter. You need to still be able to nurture, give them the growth they need as people, and that is what being a parent is. You could be a great parent on $0. You could be a bad one on $1 billion. It works both ways.
What did your kids think when they saw that part of your story told in that way?
Well, I've talked to them about it. Like,
so they know.
Yeah, they knew.
Hoda, they didn't read the book. I talked to them about it. I don't know who read this book, Hoda. Honestly, I don't even feel like I read it.
Everybody knew that I was very unhappy, but just couldn't figure out why. Because everybody thought how I thought. You've got everything. What is wrong with you?
You married a dude who has it all, and then also happens to be a decent person. And I know there's a lot of behind-the-scenes things, but by all, you know, angles, it seems like you're the crazy one behind the scenes. So I don't know if anyone should be feeling like this. I feel like it's Will.
Ayahuasca really was...
That was the turning point.
Turned you from the brink.
And I never had a thought again. Now,
so she went from wanting to trying ayahuasca to being like, give me more ayahuasca. I need to try that.
And I want to be very clear about that. You have to really have someone who's very trained to guide you through that.
Oh, so you gotta have someone who's really trained, like someone who's a professional. Who'd you have, Jada? Who did you have? Okay, they're not gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna tell you who did it. It's Jaden, her son. She was going to do it, and then she went into his room, and he said, Mom, you gotta try some ayahuasca, which is a conversation only the Smith family can have. And she did it, and she got better, which means Jaden Smith has provided more for his mother than at this point she has for him. Jaden Smith has provided for his mother a fuckboy. Not him, his friend. And also, ayahuasca to help her live. She has provided red table talk. That is it.
If you find another great love.
So then Hoda, you know, just point blank, she's like, I read this piece of shit. If you find another, like, great love, or if Wool, and she's like, no. Wool is worth a lot of money. We're not finding other great loves, okay? I'm not finding another great love. I'm finding $200 million worth of love right here, okay?
No, we really have been working hard.
Oh, yeah, hold up. Oh, 2 days ago it was the complete opposite shit. Oh, okay. So you guys are back to, well, so you just wasted my time.
Oh.
Okay.
See?
Okay. Well, I didn't know that we might
I was trying to take...
Well,
Wait. I totally missed that on the whole...
What the fuck is this pterodactyl stuff going on? Jesus. This is what happens when you don't read the book? I'll get it, Jada. I'll get it. Please, stop.
That's the whole thing.
So wait, just so I'm 100% clear, you were divorced, not on paper.
Yeah, honestly, hold on. The fact that we're years into this and nobody's 100% clear on anything is a big red flag as to what the actual F is going on in this relationship. We're at the end of everything here. We're at the end of the line, and we don't know. We don't know. Are they living together? Are they not? Are they together? Are they not? Where's Jaden? Where's the ayahuasca? Can you bring some? I need it.
Can't be this perfect, idealized husband.
Is she actually saying things, or is it just me? Or are you guys also not following anything she's saying? But you know that she's saying something because she's enunciating like really slowly, but there's nothing making sense. Like she's talking like a cult leader at this point. You need more of the stuff to bring in what you don't have. When times get tough, things appear to be not as they are, okay? What?
Yes, of course.
I have to be able to accept him for the human that he is. He accepts me for the human.
Why didn't you do that ages ago in 1997 when you did your marriage vow? I thought that's what it was. Why are you only doing this now? Oh my god. What? You have to write a book to know this?
So you might like live in the same house and have the same...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they're gonna live together again? Everything good? This all for nothing? Everything?
Yep.
I saw a video on, again, my research where she said, I think the slap helped us be brought together. Chris Rock's fucking cheek helped Will Smith and Jada Pinkett reunite their marriage. He's got a magic healing cheek. People who are going through divorce should be like Chris Rock. And they'll be fine. Chris Rock. Oh, wow. Everyone hates Chris, not me. Done. Just try that with every comedian. Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Bill Burr. Like, oh, okay. Just healing my marriage through one comedian at a time. That's good.
The book's out tomorrow.
And the book is out tomorrow at this point. And one of the comments that I thought was best written was, I've never seen a woman destroy and humiliate her husband to this degree just to sell a book before, then use his name so casually after, like this is true love. It perfectly encapsulates their love story. Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. But this is not the complete end. Even though she was doing that, she also brought up another man's name, the man she grew up with. She went to high school with him. He was known as Tupac Shakur. Westside! One of the greatest rappers of all time, taken too soon from us. But nobody thinks about this more than Jada Pinkett, who still feels sad. Now, everyone knows Tupac is a legend and they let him rest in peace, as legends do. But not Jada, because she has been making some unhinged comments to end off her book tour. Aside from the various comments made about Will Smith and the shifting state of her marriage, Jada Pinkett brought up comments about rapper Tupac Shakur. The two remained close friends until his death in 1996. However, some of the recent claims have been wild, to say the least, such as her claiming that he and her were soulmates but had no chemistry, that he proposed to her from prison, and the wildest of all, that he had alopecia. She claimed he had alopecia. She said that's why he was bald. Jada Pinkett Smith says Tupac Shakur had alopecia. He just wouldn't talk about it. Exclusive. People magazine. Tupac Shakur, been dead almost 20 years now. We find out he has alopecia. So if he was in that room when Chris Rock made the joke, not only would he have been slapped, but very possibly shot up. Smith tells people in this week's issue that Shakur's alopecia patterns were more extreme than hers. Was it even a fucking thing for him? Do you think if any of the thing that he was doing in his life, in his mid-20s, this was one of the things? Oh my god. After he was in North Carolina with the police officers, he started losing his hair, and the alopecia patterns were far more extreme than mine, she recalls. This article literally says she claims that Shakur, who was killed in 1996, kept the details of his alopecia a secret due to societal pressures at the time. They actually wrote that sentence and nobody got fired. This man got hit in a drive-by. He survived the first one, but he wouldn't talk about hair loss. He survived getting shot. He made a rap song dissing Biggie and Diddy and everyone else. But hair loss, shit, I wouldn't talk about it. But big fat Notorious B.I.G., I'ma sulk about it. I'ma kill him. Notorious B.I.G., I hate him cause he got more hair than me. Jada Pinkett, I put something in your Kool-Aid, drink it. Thank you. Now I know that my idol, Tupac Shakur, wasn't intentionally bald. He just had to. Thanks. Thank you, Jada Pinkett. He also proposed to her from prison, but she turned him down. But she married Will Smith even though she didn't want to. Also, that was later debunked as he had a wife and apparently didn't propose. But okay. He also is her soulmate, but has no chemistry with her. She clarified later, saying that she didn't mean in a romantic sense. They were never romantically linked, even though he tried to propose to her in prison. Do you notice how all of this somehow surrounds her in some way, shape, or form? Just like me. Pac proposed to me. He was in love with me. He also had alopecia. And also, he was Will Smith's cousin. Worst of all, I think the part that I thought was just out of nowhere is that she has his ashes.
It's awful.
Apparently, she has his ashes. Jada Pinkett Smith recalls being handed Tupac Shakur's ashes by Suge Knight at a starry memorial. Tupac, who had a wife and a mother, had his ashes handed to Jada Pinkett by Suge Knight. In her book, she writes, Suge Knight delivered Pac's ashes into my very hand. The way she wrote it is as if he went like this. What's this? Tupac. Okay. All right. Well, that's disgusting. Having to receive Pac ashes in that way was really devastating moment. I'll put it like that, just to get him in that little cardboard box. And yes, I was very rageful about the whole thing, about everything. Okay. Pac and I were not romantic, but he is a soulmate. I know I want to see him again. I know I will see him again. Jada Pinkett Smith on her book Worthy. That is where I leave you. That is all we need to know about the timeline of Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. Yes, it includes a lot of Tupac Shakur because she cannot leave this man alone. I don't know why. It includes other things about ayahuasca and her wanting to leave her family. And now we have a conclusion. So let's try and summarize what we've learned about this marriage. We've learned from Jada Pinkett Smith many comments and thoughts. Let's try and summarize. Tupac was her soulmate, but she had no chemistry with him. Possibly they bonded over alopecia, who knows? She turned him down in prison because she didn't want to marry him, but she married Will Smith even though she did not want to and literally cried. They had a baby, then they had another. She didn't want to be in this world after she had kids. Then her son gave her ayahuasca and saved her life. She repaid him by fucking his best friend. But it's okay because they were separated, so they weren't really married. Not him and the son. I mean, not him and Will Smith. I mean, Jada and Will Smith were separated and they didn't dated, but now they're back together and everything's fine and they're not living together, but they will be living together soon. And why does everything smell like copper? All I know is that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are the most complicated people in Hollywood that I've ever seen. They're apparently thinking of coming out with a book together entitled Do Not Try This at Home, and that's true. All I can think of is that one comment from Red Table Talk to end this video, and it goes something like this. Bad marriage for life. Hopefully you find someone who actually knows if they want you or not. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Bye.
She ain't even gotta ask, she did a dash and bit it last. You know a dash and she knows.